After the fall of Saddam's regime, the country was left without a government and an economic ruling. The PRT is trying to help Iraqis take control of their provinces to lead the way into national reconstruction. The U.S. Department of State is one of the major contributors to this effort.
The Department of State allocated to us $100 million in economic support funds. We have $71 million committed. And of that $71 million committed, in fact, there is $42 million worth that's actually work that's actually been awarded.
The PRT is a multinational team working together to help Iraqi citizens. Baghdad's PRT is divided into 4 sections.
It's somewhat of a small United Nations, as it were. We have a governance section whose mandate is essentially to focus on proper public administration. We've got a fairly robust economic section. That economic section is there essentially to promote business development. We've got a very robust rule of law section. That section has 7 people, 3 of whom, if I'm not mistaken, are certified attorneys. One of whom, the section, is actually led by a gentleman who was an assistant district attorney in Cook County, Illinois. It's a tremendous asset. They have done tremendous work. We've got a very robust infrastructure section. Why is that? Well, here we are in Baghdad. Baghdad accounts for about 6 million people. The province itself has about 7 million. So you've got a quarter of the population of the country in the province in which we operate. And indeed, there are many, many projects being developed.
The goal is not to simply give handouts, but to enable Iraqis to reform their nation. To do that, the PRTs need to get out into the streets more often.
Inevitably, it comes down to the provision of essential services or to a development of the infrastructure. The intent here is not to move a project along for the sake of moving a project along. The intent is to use these kinds of projects to develop relationships from the bottom up so that the duly elected officials feel there is a need, feel there's a reason why they must deal with the constituency. People who will be staffing the PRTs will be out there engaging. And it's the engagement with the intent of getting people from the bottom up to agree on policies, practices, and procedures. We're seeing successes.
Through dedication and hard work, improvements could multiply across the country. The Baghdad PRT leaders are confident in their projects for this year and years to come. Specialist Charles McLaughlin, Baghdad, Iraq.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers is in the battle to improve the lives and conditions of the citizens of Iraq. Here is one of the most recent and important projects.
This is the Academy of Health and Sciences, which is a project that we're doing for the Ministry of Health of the Iraqi, part of the Iraqi government.
The building is a dual-purpose facility, serving as a training academy for medical professionals and a medical treatment facility. It has space for classrooms, labs, dental exam rooms, a kitchen and cafeteria, and an auditorium. It will give the citizens of Baghdad local access to much-needed medical and dental care.
This will be a direct impact to the Iraqi people here in the international zone. It'll be a good, modern medical facility with all the new equipment, with trained staff right here in the international zone, which will be able to provide continuous medical care to the residents in Baghdad.
The Corps of Engineers expects completion of the facility in the early spring. Healthcare and medical training in downtown Baghdad. Just one more example of the efforts made in the rebuilding of Iraq. For the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Public Affairs Office, I'm Troy Roland.